Jackson.
Why that doesn't look like the entire.
Your back is in it.
That is the entire shit.
In the beginning, there was nothing.
You're good.
Oh,
Yes, you're in the way of him.
No, you're not in the way.
Hold up, his writing is this fire.
Alright, so we've got Christmas themed schemas. Take it away, Gage.
Alright, so. Rule 1. PJ can see.
This is Christmas themed?
Let's see how it does.
We'll get there.
So, kind of build up to it. A guy by the name of Gabriel Princip assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo, in modern day Bosnia and Herzegovina. Remember the Black Hand? Think of like terrorist organization. And yes, nothing is capitalized in this except the first.
Except the terrorists.
Yeah, like, why do you hate grammar?
And why do you love Gabriel Prince?
Because why not?
Huh.
Only Newt to kind of complete his mission. Everyone else failed or chickened out. Well, in response, Austria-Hungary sends a long list of demands, kind of like impossible ones to comply with. Well, Serbia says no, and Austria-Hungary declares war. Little side note up here, Bismarck, kind of guy that formed the whole German Confederation thing, said on his deathbed that the government will fall apart in 20 years after his death, and a great war would come from the Balkans. So, little line right there. Correlates up. This actually this actually happened. Historical photo, by the way, if you can't tell. Yeah. And then another thing that kind of kicked the whole thing off, the Agadir crisis. It was in modern day Morocco. France is trying to expand their colonial power in Africa. Well, Germany's like, can't do that. So we're going to send a gunboat down there, and it's mainly it. So kind of the whole first year of it. Russia joins the war on the side of France and Serbia, and then Germany joins Austria-Hungary. Well, Germany invades Belgium. Germany invades Belgium to get around France's strong forts at Alsace-Lorraine, or imagine a line. The King of Belgium says no. Germans still do it. The English ain't too fond of that, so they declare war on Germany and join Entente. Another side note, these guys were related from Victoria, I think. She was called the grandmother of Europe, or something like that, because she had a lot of kids. I'm pretty sure that's something like that, what she was called. And some more things right there. Two of the kind of major generals for Germany was Ludendorff and Hindenburg. Also a big old balloon exploded with his name. And the plan for invading Belgium to get around France was the Schlieffen Plan. And that's how it kind of correlates. The first city to fall in Belgium was Liege, famous for chocolate. That's Belgium if you didn't know. Battle of the Mons, first appearance of the BEF or British Expeditionary Forces in World War I. And on the east, the Germans would be attacked by the Russian Empire, but what stopped them at the Battle of Tannenberg, kind of basically just shattering all of Russia's army there. First Battle of the Marne, France just kind of sends in reinforcements with taxis. Cool little detail there. First Battle of Ypres, a little city in West Belgium. It was the end point of their race to the sea and the trench warfare campaign. And Kim de Morne, it was a little subsection of the battle. Germans lost a lot of students. They're called the Massacre of the Innocents. That's the taxi cabs. And then a side note, the Christmas truce happened this year. And they played soccer across no man's land. So that's how it all correlates.
Schema.
1915, the Germans come up with the U-boat. It was kind of the first version of the submarine. It's also the first year that they use chemical warfare. And then the Gallipoli campaign, or the Dar Lines campaign, brought up by Winston freaking Churchill. And so he brings it up, and he's famous for it because it goes terribly wrong. And kind of the main group that fought there was ANZAC, or Australian New Zealand Army Corps. They fought there, but again went terribly. And then Italy and the Ottoman Empire did join the war in this year. Italy for the Entente and Ottoman for the Central Powers. Sinking of Lusitania was a U.S. ship sending guns and bullets to the UK, I think, but got sunk by German U-boats. And this is actually a picture taken from the event. So, yes. So, real quick. No, this is from the Titanic. Yeah.
That's like McKinley Level right there.
1960, the Battle of Verdun. It was kind of a major city along the line. There was assailants in the line, and the Germans wanted to take it. So they bring in stormtroopers and the flamethrower. Fort Dumas was also a huge part in it too. It was a big old massive mountain fort. Philip Baton was also there too, and then the Sacred Path. They kind of sent guns and men in there to kind of help fight it. Battle of Ypres is kind of the only naval battle you really have to know, because it's the only battle to ever see dreadnoughts fought in the North Sea. Battle of the Somme, first use of tanks, and the British would suffer heavy losses here, so it would take pressure off the wall. Brusilov offensive. The Russian general commanded an attack that shattered the Austro-Hungarian army, but also left Russia without much equipment. And another historical picture right there, an actual stormtrooper from the Battle of Verdun. So, I'm just kidding. That's from Star Wars. Okay. The Neville offensive. Basically, France tries to launch a counterattack. Doesn't go too well, but Battle of Vimy. Canadians, and they beat the Germans here. And then the Zimmermann telegram.
Wow.
Germany sent a letter to Mexico being like, hey, you want to help us invade the U.S.? We'll give you 4 states. Well, the British intercepted it, and America's like, what the crap, you can't do that. So they declare war on Germany, entering the war. The Russian Revolution happened this year too, led to the overthrow of the Tsar. Russian Civil War is kind of messy, but the basics, just the Reds fought the Whites, and the Reds won. So, and then planes became more than just spying. They also dropped bombs. That's cool too. That's Lenin, by the way. Kind of bald.
Gonna be you someday.
Battle of Belleau.
Fellow what?
Belleau.
Woods.
Belleau.
As in like a forest.
Yes, forest. So the Americans go in there and they're like, the French are like, well, we're not going to attack in there because they're too well entrenched. Well, the Americans, one of the guys says, he's like, retreat, and we just got here. So they go in there and they take the forest in about 26 days. The Argonne, it was a campaign in which the Americans were mainly the main fighting force there. It was basically just a big old forest again, 12 miles of just German trenches and barbed wire. Supposed to be space right there, but you get the point. One instance is the 114th New Jersey Division went into the ravine, and only 13 came out. Another scenario is where the Americans had went so far into German-held territory that they began to start getting shelled by friendlies. But thanks to a messenger pigeon, they survived it all.
True.
What?
And then the war would end on the 11th day of the 11th month at 11 o'clock. And I think, also side note, I forgot to add it sometime before, but the treaty that got Russia out of the war was the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. That's really it.
Yay.